What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today, BTC. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. Here we are at about $84,600 with a high yesterday of $85,500. That's a little bit shy of that 86 to 86.5K area that we were looking for. The low end of that range, to be completely fair, is 85.8, right there at about 85.8. This could be a form of front running in a selling effect in the bearish effect, or maybe it's just an incomplete move up to this area, right? We're still not bullish on Bitcoin. I mean, at least I'm not bullish. I'm kind of curious. What the fear and greed sentiment has gone up a little bit, right? What's the average thing going on here? Let's see. Because yesterday Grok was saying that the majority of the market was like 55%, if not 60%, were bearish, and less than that, obviously the other remaining percent was bullish. So let's see what that is. Grok, based on the latest chatter on x.com, what is the sentiment towards Bitcoin? Bullish versus bearish. Top being in, or sorry, not top being in, the low being in versus the low not being, more has, versus the price having more to go, the price having lower to go. Let's see, bullish versus bearish, the low being in versus the price. Please answer yes. Please answer in a percentage form. All right. I guess I don't have to say please, but it's in me to be polite, man, most of the time, unless you piss me off, I guess. Anyways, let's see. Let me make sure, actually. Can you guys hear me? Yes. Okay, cool. I didn't even check my mic on the first video. Let's see. Bullish sentiment approximately 35%, bearish sentiment 55%. So not a lot has changed. Oh, he went into depth here. Neutral and undecided, approximately 10%. The low being in, approximately 30%. Price having lower to go, approximately 60%. Okay. All right, well, that's good. That's good to know. So not a lot of people have shifted their bearish sentiment. So, you know, the ball does lie in the bull's court with this. Whenever the majority of the market is bearish, at least on x.com, which is a lot of people in crypto are on x.com. If you're not on X because of political reasons, you got to get over that, man. You got get on X. If you're in crypto, you should be on x.com. It's where you just have to follow crypto people. You don't have to follow anything political, and people might get political, but whatever. You just if you consider yourself a crypto person, you need to be on x.com. You need to. It's where all the information's at. It's where everybody talks. There's spaces and all kinds of stuff that goes on there, you guys. You're going to find out a lot of information on there all the time. There's updates and all that, and just memes and all kinds of stuff relative to the culture of crypto. If you're in crypto, you got to be on x.com. You have to. Whether you like it or not, that's just where it is. And the sentiment of what I think the crypto markets represent here on x.com is that we're still bearish. So there is a chance that the majority of people could be wrong and we still move up. And I am in that majority. I do think that we're going to go lower personally. I am expecting that we see prices around $74,000 to $70,000, and that has not changed even with this price going up here. From a low to a high, the expectation still remains $73.7, $70,000, somewhere between the 1272 to the 1618 here, until we validate something different, until we're proven otherwise, right? And the way to prove that, the way to disprove that we're going lower, is to close about right above this daily high close here. I would say, let's take it a step further. Let's say 88K. Because if you get a slightly higher high on a closing basis and you just reverse from there, I'm not that enthusiastic about that, right? But if you can close above 88,000, a little bit more than just a little bit above that number there, and continue to grow. If we can close 2 days above 88K, even one day, I'll probably get bearish or bullish, but 2 days in a row, definitely bullish. And at that point, I'll start to say that this really has a chance of being the low. It's not valid yet. We still have higher targets to go through. If we can get above 91K, really 96,500 is that ultimate kind of price to break through before we can actually validate this as a low. But I would definitely start celebrating if we're above 91,000. I would start celebrating if we're above 88K. Celebrating? Why would you celebrate? You've been calling for the price to go down. I want to be wrong, man. I want to celebrate the price. It's so much more fun watching the price go up. And I'll tell you what, man. If I'm bearish, predominantly bearish, there's been moments where I was bullish and then bearish and then bullish, you know, whatever. But predominantly through this range, bearish. If I'm wrong about this, and it takes me till here to realize that, right? If I'm wrong about this move, and I have to be wrong this much of that move to accept that, I will happily admit that I'm wrong and catch the rest of that move. You know what I mean? The target, make no mistake, you guys, regardless of how low we go or don't go by the end of this month, or over the next like week or two, probably by the end of tomorrow, or by the end of today. It is April 2nd after all. If we don't see resolution to the downside, I would be very surprised if it didn't happen over the next couple of days, but we'll see. Make no mistake, regardless of how low we go or don't go, I very much believe that we will see higher prices, all-time high prices by the end of this month. The target goal is $111,000 or higher, $111,000 or more by the end of this month. And I don't know, is the camera's kind of weird. It almost looks like I'm underwater. Is it just me? It like warps to me, I feel like. I don't know. Maybe, I'm not high. I'm not on anything. I'm sober as a goose, man. If gooses are sobers. Gooses that are not on any kind of fermented fruit. Anyways, I feel like it looks like it warps like to my head. Like, notice? Do you notice it? Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just sleep deprived, man. But anyways, 84.666 thousand. That's a wicked number right there. It wouldn't surprise me, and I wouldn't get too excited if we went up to 86, 86 and a half. I wouldn't even get excited if we went to 88K. I would get excited if we closed 2 days above 88K, and that's what it would take, above 88,000, 88,000 or above, I should say, if we closed 2 days in a row above there. That's when I would get excited. Until then, I remain bearish. Nothing's changed, right? We are at the area in the RSI where we likely do reject. If we're looking at this from a relative high to a relative low here, we are basically right below this golden ratio. Just right there below it, reaching for it, but not quite getting there. Doesn't mean that we can't get there. We absolutely can, but we have to see more, obviously. 4-hour time frame, 4-hour RSI is looking pretty bullish, if I do say so myself. It's not bad, but if we get back below that 50, this could look like a real rejection off the overbought zone and take us to lower prices, right? It certainly could. Doesn't mean that it has to, but it would definitely, last time we rejected the overbought zone like this, we went below the 50, it was down. Here we didn't reject the overbought zone. We were just figuring ourselves out. Here we actually got into the overbought zone. It's different. You reject the overbought zone here, you get below the 50, and down you go to the oversold zone. So that's not always how it happens, but just generally speaking, that's kind of the expectation. 1 hour time frame here. The 1 hour RSI, I got to say, the 1 hour and the 4 hour both look bullish. So I suppose it is completely called for to expect 86,000, 86,500 or more, or around that area at least, and then potentially a drop until we're above 88K. I'm still calling for this drop, man. That's just how it is. And maybe then maybe we go above $88,000 and then we still drop. Who knows? But we'll figure it out as we go. I'm willing to pivot my decision. I just haven't seen enough in the charts yet to flip bullish, and I really hope that we get that, man. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me, and it never has really, that we would find support right here in the middle of nowhere, but it could happen. The only way that it would make sense is how it happened on February 3rd, right? It was just a quick wick, a fake out, and then up, but we continue to bleed down. So this area just seems so obscure to me, but maybe that's exactly why we find support here, because it is obscure. From a low to a high here, just below the 382, rejecting the 236. Can't say that's bullish, man. I would think that we at least go to the 0.5, and Bitcoin has found a lot of support and resistance on its 0.5 throughout this whole cycle. So I'm going to end that there. I don't think I have anything else that I want to say. Maybe we can look at the ribbon real quick. A little bit curious as to what that brings us. Daily ribbon. Looking all right, not looking bad. To be fair, though, the daily ribbon does look like it wants to go below. The weekly ribbon looks like it would want to go below. Below what? Probably below this number here at 76K. If we go below 76K, we're going to go to at least 74K. Why do I say that? Because anytime you live in the ribbon like this, you go below the ribbon to find support, right? Here, you're not really living in it, you're disrespecting it, but you find support below the ribbon, right? Just like here, when you're living in it a little bit more, but from the downside, you go above it to find resistance. Here, living in it, you find support below the ribbon, right? It's not always that cut and dry, and this is not living in it, right? You bounced off of it. That's different, right, than what you're doing now. You're actually residing inside here. You even found resistance last week. So the ribbon gives me faith that we go to the downside on a weekly basis. The 3-day time frame actually looks like it's about to cross to the downside too. We rejected the ribbon too, right? You're not living in it here. You rejected it. That's encouraging to the downside as well. And the price to really suggest otherwise would be about 88,000 on a 3-day basis, which we close in 2 days here. The price to suggest otherwise for the daily time frame would be about 88,000, a little bit above that as well. So it just depends. However, you know, it's not a perfect science. It's not always, nothing is, but sometimes you live in the ribbon and you don't go above it. Sometimes you live in the ribbon and you don't go below it, even though you did go here. But it's not so cut and dry 100% of the time, but most of the time. Anyways, guys, I've got nothing else to say. I think that we are moving up just a little bit, just to move down a little bit more. And I'm expecting a rather wicked drop, a wicked flash crash down to 74 to 70K. Don't panic sell. Don't panic about it, right? It's fine. Everything's going to be fine, but that's kind of the call at the moment. So, and then from there, 111,000 or higher by the end of April. All right? Take it easy. Hit the like button. Subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.